You've been checking their Instagram for the past 2 weeks. They haven't messaged you back in 4 days. You know they're active, you know they're ignoring you, but you're still hoping. And here's the thing that makes you feel crazy. You know this isn't healthy, you know they don't want you, yet you can't stop thinking about them. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to explain exactly why this happens, and more importantly, how to break this cycle. Because this isn't a character flaw, this is your attachment system misfiring. Let's go. Let me paint a picture. You meet someone, maybe online, maybe in real life. It doesn't matter, they're interesting. They're a little distant, a little mysterious. That's when you decide they're worth your attention. At first, they respond. The conversations are great, but then the messages come slower, the replies get shorter. You start waiting longer for responses. So what do? You try harder. You send more thoughtful messages. You laugh at their jokes a little too much. You start molding yourself into what you think they want. And here's the psychological manipulation. The less they respond, the more you try. The more effort you put in, the more invested you become. It's not about them anymore. It's about the idea of them. It's about the fantasy of finally breaking through. Sound familiar? This is attachment in action. To understand why this happens, we need to talk about attachment theory. It was developed by a psychologist named John Bowlby in the 1950s. Attachment theory explains how the relationships you had with your parents or caregivers in childhood literally shape how you love and connect with people today. There are 4 attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and fearful avoidant. If you're here watching this, you probably have anxious attachment. An anxious attachment works like this. In childhood, your caregiver's love felt conditional. Maybe they were emotionally inconsistent. Maybe they were sometimes warm, sometimes cold. Maybe you had to earn their attention by being good enough, smart enough, quiet enough. So your brain learned a pattern. If I try hard enough, if I'm perfect enough, if I prove my worth, they'll love me, they'll stay. That pattern is now hardwired into your nervous system, and it activates in adult relationships, especially with people who remind you of that inconsistent caregiver. People who are distant, that triggers your wound. People who make you work for their attention, that feels like home. Because you spent your entire childhood working for love. But it goes deeper than attachment. There's also a neurochemical component. When you're obsessing over someone who doesn't want you, your brain is flooded with dopamine. Dopamine is the neurotransmitter of anticipation, not pleasure. It's not about happiness, it's about the hope of happiness. And here's the torture. Dopamine peaks right before a reward. Not when you get the reward, right before. So every time you send them a message and wait for a response, your dopamine is spiking. Every time they don't respond, your dopamine crashes. But then you think, maybe the next message will work. Dopamine spikes again. This is literally the same neurochemical cycle that creates addiction. You're not in love with them. You're addicted to the fantasy of them choosing you. You're addicted to the possibility that this time they'll finally respond. And the intermittent reinforcement, the random rewards mixed with constant rejection, strengthens the addiction. This is why it feels impossible to stop. Your brain is literally wired to pursue this. It's not weakness, it's neuroscience. Let me give you some real patterns. You text them, no response. 3 hours later, you get anxious, so you send another message. This time they respond, but just a K or a thumbs up. Your dopamine crashes because it's not enough, but it's something, so you're hooked again. Or they reach out after 2 weeks of silence just to ask a casual question. Your whole week improves, you feel seen. You immediately text them back, trying to keep the conversation going. They disappear again. This is called intermittent reinforcement. And it's the most powerful way to create attachment and addiction. Casinos use it, social media uses it, and the person you're obsessed with is doing it, whether intentionally or not. The pattern is, your anxious attachment meets their avoidant or narcissistic behavior, and suddenly you're stuck in a loop where your wounds match perfectly. They need someone who will chase them. You need someone who will make you chase them. It's a perfect psychological fit, but it's a terrible emotional match. Here's the hard truth that nobody wants to hear. You're not attached to them. You're attached to the fantasy of them. The real person, the one who's ignoring you, making you feel small, making you question your worth, that person doesn't exist in your mind. In your mind, you've created a version of them, a version that will choose you someday. And that fantasy is more powerful than reality. Because reality is, they don't want you. But the fantasy is, they will, if you just try hard enough. So you keep trying, you keep hoping, you keep suffering. But here's what needs to happen. You need to grieve, not the person, the fantasy. You need to sit with the pain of, this person will never choose me, and that's okay. And that last part, and that's okay, that's the key. Because here's the secret. Their rejection doesn't define your worth. The fact that they don't want you doesn't mean you're not worthy of love. It just means you're not right for each other. That's not a failure. That's information. So what do you actually do? First, acknowledge your attachment style. Understand that this pattern comes from your past, not from the present. You're not broken, you're trying to heal an old wound through this person. Second, cut contact. I don't care how hard it is. Block them if you have to. Unfollow them. Delete old messages. Your brain needs to physically stop getting hits of dopamine from them. Third, feel the pain. The withdrawal is real. Your nervous system is going to scream. It wants its dopamine hit. Let it scream. The pain will pass. It always does. Fourth, work on your attachment style. Therapy, self-help books, meditation, whatever helps. Because the goal isn't to find someone who will finally choose you. The goal is to become someone who chooses themselves. And the final thing, understand that secure people who actually love you, consistently and without games, won't feel exciting at first. They'll feel boring because there's no chase, there's no dopamine spike from anticipation, there's just stability, safety, real love, and that takes time to get used to. But here's the truth. You deserve someone who doesn't make you chase them. You deserve someone who chooses you every single day without you having to prove your worth. That person exists, but they can't find you while you're still chasing ghosts. So let them go and find yourself